This is Barnstable Today for Wednesday, December 10th. Welcome aboard. I'm Mark Mumford. And remember, all the meetings we cover are available on demand, wire to wire, at the town's website at town.barnstable.ma.us.
The school committee provides some highs and lows. That's our main focus today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Friel.
Last night's meeting in the town hall hearing room provided a high point right at the top with the introduction of new school committee member Fran McDonald, who fills the seat vacated by Peggy Dandridge.
And we wanted to start tonight in recognizing our newest school committee member, Fran McDonald. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you.
And if you wouldn't mind taking a minute just to introduce yourself to everyone.
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to. As introduced, my name is Fran McDonald. I've been a resident of the town since 1994. Worked in higher ed since that time over at Massachusetts Maritime Academy, and my 10 years prior to that spent in the power generation and energy markets. I am just absolutely honored to be a part of this process at this particularly difficult time. I hope that I can bring some value to the discussion and the debate. I hope I can be a sounding board for stakeholders across the community. And I'm actually optimistic in what might appear like dark times just from my work in coming up to speed, my discussions with the superintendent and my discussions with many members of the community. I feel like we'll be challenged moving forward if we keep all the stakeholders in mind, the members of the community that fund us, the parents of the students that attend our schools, our dedicated faculty, and our students themselves. If we can keep a clear vision on all that, I certainly trust we can maintain the standards that have been set for a while here in the community. And again, I'm very, very, very honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Some of the low points were provided by detailing what were the two remaining options to deal with an estimated $5 million budget shortfall anticipated for the next fiscal year. The remaining options on the table, narrowed down from 4 to just 2, were outlined by Superintendent Dr. Patricia Grenier last night. Here is option 2.
This point, and tonight we will take a look at option 2 again. Option 2 is a recommendation to close an elementary school and to, in theory, and I can't say all staff in that school would be eliminated, all positions from that school would be eliminated. To go to half-time kindergarten in all schools, which would be about a reduction of approximately 50 staff members. Then each of the following sites would have to take some between an 8, 10, and 12% reduction. 12% from the Barnstable Horace Mann, 8% from Barnstable Middle School and High School, 8% from Marston Mills East Horace Mann Charter Public School, 10% from Technology, Maintenance, Athletics, and Gateway. And the preschool would need to move again to Barnstable High School. I tried to do, and this is not an exhaustive list, this is sort of my never, and there would be less staff reduction.
Then Dr. Grenier provided a brief overview of option number 3.
Option 3, which accomplishes the $5 million reduction, which gets us much closer to living within our means and less dependency on the savings account, moves the 8th grade to the high school. And the move would be to create an 8th, 9th grade academy. Those of you that may be familiar with the high school structure, if you walk in the front door, there's a staircase right on the right-hand side, which would bring you up to 2100, House D. And what we would do is hopefully create a 8th, 9th grade academy with its own, not its own principal by any means. Mrs. Graves, oh, thank you, Ralph. Mrs. Graves would still be the principal of the high school, but we would have a designated administrator for 8th and 9th grade. Barnstable Middle School would in fact be a 6-7. Barnstable Horace Mann Charter School would be a 4-5. By the movement of those grades, it allows us to close 2 elementary schools and The remaining elementary schools would be K3 buildings with a class size of approximately 22 in K3, the class size in 4 to 7 approximately 24. Once you get into the high school, it's really difficult to nail down a class size. I would say it would range somewhere between 15 and 25, and there will be outliers on either side. But I do know that this reduction in programs will require larger AP classes.
Before the school committee voted on an option recommendation to the superintendent, school committee chair Ralph Cahoon added some potentially bad financial news on the state aid level, derived from a meeting that included House Speaker Sal DeMacy.
I'm just going to mention to start off that because of the Speaker DeMacy's comments yesterday, it's nothing that was shocking to me, because I've been saying for, I guess, a few meetings now that I anticipated the Chapter 70 funds were going to be cut. But I think, at least for me, that makes it easier as to which option I'm going to choose to focus our attentions on, at least from my perspective, because I think we have to look at 4.9 is not the number now. It's 5.9 in that ballpark. The state is not going to have the level of funding next year that they are currently providing.
Okay. In a unanimous decision, the school committee ended up selecting option 3.
Also, there was renewed discussion of the possibility of the Barnstable schools starting to run their own buses. However, it will not be in the mix for now, and a new contract was approved with the First Student Bus Company.
To put our clips into a broader context, keep in mind that the entire school committee meeting from last night is available on demand at the town's website. That's town.barnstable.ma.us.
Meanwhile, the planning board is currently dealing with a hot issue. Developer Stu Bornstein's desire to build a Hilton Garden Inn just down the street from the Barnstable Municipal Airport.
At the board's latest meeting, they heard from Hilton Garden Inn representative Karen Whitman.
We are excited to be part of the Cape Cod location. We've looked at this market, we've looked at the entire Cape, and we see a void within our system. Hilton guests, if they want to come to the Cape, currently have no place to go. So many of our loyal customers will go to some place like Newport or Algonquin, Maine, where we have Hilton product. When we looked at the Cape, we said, where does it make most sense? And Hyannis clearly is a central location. It's a location that appeals to all groups, all segments of the industry, as we do. You get groups, you get leisure traveler, you get commercial traveler. And those three segments comprise what we see a successful hotel operation.
We will have more on the planning board and the Hilton Garden Inn coming up on future installments of Barnstable Today. But in the meantime, you can see the complete planning board discussion in regard to the project on demand at the town's website. That's town.barnstable.ma.us.
By the way, the public hearing on the proposed Hilton Garden Inn project remains open and is scheduled to resurface at the planning board meeting on February 9th.
As far as other meetings here in town, tonight, Old Kings Highway at 7 in the West Barnstable Community Building. Also at 7, Land Acquisition and Preservation in the Selectmen's Conference Room. And the ZBA in the hearing room, and that's at 7 as well.
Tomorrow, site plan review at 9 a.m. in the hearing room, and at 7 tomorrow evening, the Charter Commission in the hearing room as well.
Just a quick note, in another honor for the Barnstable High School volleyball program, with the girls having just nailed down their 6th straight state title, Coach Tom Turco has been named a National Coach of the Year by the American Volleyball Coaches Association. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
We'll meet you right back here tomorrow. I'm Mark Mumford.